this win streak needs to be studied. It's been an absolutely crazy, like about a month win streak. If you guys have been tuning into all the recaps, you guys know this. If you guys are in the free Discord, you guys know this. But crazy win streak. Here's the trade from today. Uh, Over 150 points, pretty much a bottom tick. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh yeah, I can zoom in. Yeah, pretty much a bottom tick on this one. Over 150 points. Ended up hitting this max TP at 330, but it stopped me out in profit first for around 1,500 bucks. So over 150 points secured on NQ for this recap. 1,500 bucks, absolutely crazy trade. It actually took the trade at a pretty odd time compared to normal. It was actually in the overnight session, but like even before I usually look at the overnight session, just because of how beautifully the strategy is set up. So I want to get you guys a quick recap on this one. Absolutely crazy trade. We've been on a crazy win streak. If you guys haven't checked out the other recaps from the past like month or so, where we haven't even like we've had losing trades but not losing days for the past month. We're on a crazy win streak. Um, let's get to this recap. So basically, here's what we had. This was 3:55 p.m. So this was the close going into Sunday, going into the new week. So this was the recap for Monday's P&L. So here we go. So off rip, what do we have? We had on the hourly chart, we've been forming this sideways range, right? So obviously I trade PO3s. If you guys haven't checked my mechanical entry model video that teaches my strategy, it's like way at the bottom of my channel, but check that out first. And here we go. So we had this accumulation range. We had an hourly gap below price. We had this obviously we swept this swing low right here. So big liquidity sweep, super big wick, very strong. Instantly 4-hour gets the CISD on the 4-hour. 4-hour forms an imbalance. So we're expecting this imbalance area to hold. The hourly and the 4-hour fair value gap line up in that exact area. So we have our higher time frame narrative. We have our higher time frame gap. Obviously, it was us sweeping this and getting the huge wick back up, forming that imbalance. So going into open, this area was very very strong, and you guys will see later how strong this daily BPR is. So this daily BPR was like my max target. So this bullish daily fair value gap that instantly got inversed by this bearish daily fair value gap. They both line up in this exact area. This is the BPR. It's called a balanced price range. Just basically a stacked fair value gap on the daily time frame. So if price was going to continue lower, that's fine. That's fine with me. But I wanted to see it dip into this daily BPR before doing so. Which is actually really cool because that 330, 350 area, that max TP going into that BPR, you guys are going to see later, ended up being high of day for an absolutely huge dump on NQ. So this literally, the analysis played out absolutely perfectly. That's why you guys need to make sure. I know you guys watched my mechanical entry model video that teaches my full circle strat. Tells you the mechanical entry, but if you don't have higher time frame narrative like this, if you don't have higher time, like you need to have a higher time frame narrative on the market, you need to have a draw on liquidity, you need to have basically like you need to have a narrative around your trades. You can't just be taking any sort of PO3. They don't all work. You need to have a narrative behind them. So the narrative was that 4-hour was super strong, got the CSD 4-hour gap after sweeping this low. We want to see price return to this BPR to where then it can tell us, does it want to inverse it and go long in general back to all-time highs, or does it want to hold it and go back short? And you'll see later, like I said, it ended up going short. But the play we took was the longs into it. So let's get into the actual market open. As I just showed you guys, that was kind of our higher time frame POI. Once we jump on the 5-minute time frame and things, you can see big accumulation range, POI below with this POI above as the target. And you're going to see as soon as the market opens. So the first 5-minute candle, boom. No upper wick manipulation, just straight instantly down. So I was actually in the middle of recording yesterday's recap whenever the market was opening, so I didn't even see this in live time. So the PO3 actually ended up playing when I wasn't even looking, and you guys will see how that kind of affected my entry and how there actually could have been another entry at the new 9 p.m. 4-hour candle, which is why I tell you guys never chase into trades because these PO3s set up at every new 4-hour candle. So if you miss the very bottom PO3 like this one, there's always a reentry PO3 into an imbalance. And then the new 4-hour candle opens up. There's another RePO3, which I'm going to show you guys that one as well, which went over 2 to 1 R. So just, you guys got to be patient, wait for these PO3s to set up. But anyway, we get this initial candle into this area. So obviously this is our area of operation. So as far as the PO3, the next step would be you want to see price get an IFG or CISD to confirm that this is the bottom wick of the new 4-hour candle. And price got the IFG right there. So it closed above this 1-minute bearish gap. Like I said, I wasn't even on the chart. So this PO3 played out beautiful, ended up hitting this high. I wasn't even on the charts for this, but like I said, there's always going to be re-PO3 entries and a trend. We were expecting this area to take us all the way up to this daily BPR to that 330, 350 area, which as you can see, 330, 350 area, that was our TP on this trade. So there's no need to rush and be like, oh my god, I missed the PO3, I'm gonna get in right now. You don't want to be getting in at areas like this. You want to wait for, if you missed the bottom PO3, you weren't on the charts or whatever it is, you can wait for the new 4-hour candle PO3, or you can wait for a re PO3 into an imbalance. So what did we do after we quote unquote missed this? First of all, the 5-minute, boom, the 5-minute and the 15-minute got a CISD. So out of this PO3, out of this higher time frame zone, super strong. Everything indicating for a move up higher through all this LRL into this 330, 350 area. But like I said, happened right at 5 p.m. Missed the initial bottom wick PO3. So what did I do? I marked out this 5-minute BPR. So 5-minute, 15-minute zones are great for re-entries, for re-PO3 entries. Marked out this 5-minute zone, which was also a 5-minute BPR. This was a very rare case scenario where I actually took a limit order fill. So usually whenever price came down to this area, I'd wait for it to get an IFG or CISD to show me. But down here, it already showed me it's ready to go. It already got the CSD. Everything's telling me it's ready to go. So I was ready to just take a limit order fill at the CE of this 5-minute gap. Why? Because like I said, my strategy already played out. Everything's already lined up. This would just be the retracement entry. There's no reason for it to really need to be confirmed. I already kind of confirmed it with the CISD of this initial PO3. So I took actually a limit order fill at this 5-minute BPR. It's a bullish for value gap aligned with this bearish one. So as you can see, like if you extend it to like there, this 5-minute BPR, I was expecting price. This was like the only area I really saw where price, if price is bullish, it's going to respect this area. So I tried the limit order fill. It lined up with my strategy. I had a draw in liquidity towards these highs into this 330, 350 area, which you guys saw already obviously ended up working. We made over $1,500 today. But as you can see, so the 50% of that, the CE of that 5-minute gap is around 117.50, 25 117.50. And as you guys can see, after price got the CISD, like I said, no need to chase here. Another candle up. People are probably panicking, getting in. What happens? Boom. These people start to get stopped out on this fast move down. And this candle wicked me in. And look, if you line it up over here, 117, there it is, 117.50. That 50% wicked me in. If you don't believe me, let's go back to the screenshot. Look, I got stopped on profit over 1,500. 117.50. You guys see right here, 117.50 was the entry. You guys can literally see this was like literally a bottom tick. So I had my limit order at that 5-minute CE. We came down, bottom ticked it for over 150 points on the market, like straight bottom tick. Absolutely beautiful trade, over $1,500. Like I'm gonna show you guys in a second. Ended up hitting this 330 area. But yeah, that was like the actual entry. We got the initial PO3, then 15-minute, 5-minute got the CISD above this major structure here. Got the retest, took the limit order at the BPR CE, and you're going to see like instant momentum, crazy momentum. So pretty much absolutely bottom tick that at that area. And like I said, guys, what happens? So I didn't even take the initial PO3. I took a re-entry. And then I started my TikTok live. Everyone's like, oh, you're in longs already? How do we get in longs? Should we enter longs now? No, wait for these new 4-hour candles. If you guys haven't watched my strategy video, you guys know new 4-hour candle open is a major requirement for my strategy. So what did I tell them? I said, guys, it's fine. Wait for the new 4-hour candle to open. So what happens? Boom, new 4-hour candle opens. So after the new 4-hour candle opens, what do we need to see? We want to see a 15-minute or 5-minute gap. As you can see here, boom, 15-minute bullish for value gap. I'm like, guys, this is going to be the re-PO3 entry if it ends up holding this zone. Obviously, you want to see a confirmed 1-minute CISD or IFG out of it because this could possibly inverse and take us through these internal lows. So what happened? Price formed an accumulation range here. Boom, accumulation. Manipulates into the gap, forms that structure, finally gets the CISD above that structure there. So we get the accumulation. So even this is like 150 points above my entry, and there's still another re-PO3 at the new 4-hour candle open. This is why I love my strategy. First of all, if you guys aren't in the TikTok lives, I go live on TikTok every single night. But more importantly, I trade New York session in my Discord every single morning. I link the free Discord in the description of this video. So make sure you go to the description, join that free Discord, and type in the public chat from live. Once you type from live, or no, say from YouTube, because this is the YouTube video. So once you join the Discord, type in the public chat from YouTube, and I'll get you guys in the free premium. We live stream New York session every single morning in there. And then if you guys trade Asia or London session, which is where this trade was formed, I go live on TikTok every single night. So my link tree's in my Instagram. It's wherever. It's in the Discord as well, my Discord bio. So I just want to make sure you guys are in there because it's all free. So if you guys are interested in watching me trade these setups live that you're seeing all over YouTube on this big win streak, just join the free Discord and you'll see, bro. But yeah, here was the re-PO3. We had this accumulation into this 15-minute gap. So even this very late entry still went about 2R. So You're entering 150 points after I did, but you're still catching a 2R with this RePO3. Beautiful. So we get the CISD here. 1 minute CISD above the structure. Obviously, this stops at these lows, so it's about a 15-point stop. And I think this went about a 2R before it started to reverse. So 2 to 1R. Obviously, your first GP needs to be these accumulation highs. But you guys can see even the re-entry. Smacks TP there. 2 to 1R off the re-entry PO3. So even if you entered super late, there's always entries inside of a trend, guys. As long as your high time frame draw and liquidity, your high time frame narrative's right, don't panic because there'll always be re-PO3 entries for you guys with my strategy. So a lot of people caught that one. And then I think they ended up, after that 2 to 1, I think they ended up re-sweeping these lows. And then that's what took us to that daily BPR draw and liquidity, which was the draw and liquidity for the night. So let's kind of play out some candles here. You guys will see this went about 2 to 1R, then went to stop either break even or whatever. It reswept this low. London actually opened London session, and that took us all the way up into that draw and liquidity, that 330 area here, and then the 380 area or the 350 area there, which, as you guys saw from the beginning of the video, that was the whole draw and liquidity. That was the whole plan of the day. That's why I was even long. So you guys can see, boom, we tapped that daily BPR. This was the area where I wanted to see. This is where price is going to reverse. That's why my max TP was up in this 330, 350 area. I had both of them marked out. I mentioned both of them. We hit both max TPs, like in general, technically speaking. We hit this daily BPR. So now, why was my draw and liquidity this BPR? You're going to see exactly why right here. This was literally the high of the day. Like this was the high of the day. That tap into the daily BPR into the 350. There's a reason why I have targets where they are. These are very important areas where possible reversals can happen, which is why my main TPs are in those areas. But the PO3, the re-entry, the re-PO3, all these were great entries into that draw and liquidity. And then from there, like I said, this was literally the high of the market today. And price, as we speak, is still continuing lower. So absolutely crazy trade, guys. Like I said, if you guys want to watch me trade these live every day, my free Discord's in the bio. Just make sure you type from YouTube in the public chat whenever you join after you claim the free access. And yeah, we're gonna live trade in there. It's gonna be awesome. Let's try to see how long we can keep this win streak going, man. If you guys are liking these recaps, if you guys liking all the education, make sure you drop a sub, and make sure you guys comment any specific videos you guys want me to make in the future besides all these recaps, because these recaps have been awesome. Obviously, going on about a month win streak right now. It's pretty crazy. So all these recaps are definitely helpful for you guys. I've heard a lot of positive feedback from them. But yeah, make sure you guys drop a sub if you like all the content, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.